I'm Mason, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
What's up, Mason? How you doing? Congratulations with signing to RCA, man. That's a big feat. First of all, can you talk to me about how that kind of happened for you as far as your music career goes?
For sure, yeah. Thank you so much. But that kind of started back in January when I signed with my management, and I kind of found them just through having different relationships with people over time. But what really kicked everything off for me was Fortnite videos picking up with Psycho. That was my sixth song ever, or my fifth song ever. And it got picked up by Promoting Sounds on YouTube, and then just started to kind of go crazy in the Fortnite like gaming community. And then shortly after that, it kind of became this TikTok phenomenon. And then shortly after that was when I signed my deal.
That must be such a cool feeling that it's like you're creating music from your bedroom, and it's like really like exploding around the world, especially on avenues like TikTok, where that's the big hit, especially now during this quarantine time. That's where everybody is kind of like spending their time nowadays. So like, how cool is it for you to be able to go from the bedroom to literally worldwide?
It feels the same because I'm still in my bedroom, but just kind of knowing that it is kind of weird psychologically, knowing that like millions and millions of people are like listening to the song. But I'm still doing the same thing, still in my bedroom playing guitar and making music. So
What do you think it was about Psycho that got the attention that it did?
I think it's just overall, to be honest, I don't think it's that great of a song. However, it is an earworm, and it's got this super cool glitchy beat that I think is really catchy.
So one thing that really like caught my attention with you is your storytelling, um,
Mm.
and that's a craft in itself. Being able to write a song in a way that us, the listeners, can actually visualize what you're talking about, what you're saying. How did you learn to write the way that you do?
So I started writing only about a year and a half ago, just out of boredom in my best friend's room. We just decided to look up some beats on YouTube and just start writing songs. I've always really liked writing. English was always my favorite class. And I just feel like maybe I'm good at like describing things and storytelling in general. But, I'm not like an experienced songwriter. But yeah, just kind of out of boredom, we just started writing songs. And at first, obviously, they were terrible, but I just kept doing it every day, and it became such like a habit. And even to this day, I write like a few songs a day at least, just for fun.
Now, as far as like finding pockets for your lyrics, is that something that just kind of happens as you're writing the music, or is that something that you kind of have to learn to be able to kind of execute?
I think the pocket that I write in comes from my influences and just listening to a lot of music. And it's all kind of subconscious. I don't ever think about what I'm writing. It's kind of like I turn on the beat, and then the melody will come first. Just I don't know, where it's like the beat goes in one ear and the melody comes out my mouth. It's like a weird, I don't understand it. It's like it just automatically happens. And then the words kind of just fill in the blanks with the melodies. It's like I'm not even the one doing it. It's cool.
So you were mentioning, getting inspired by your musical influences. It's cool that you have such a wide range of influences, but you chose this as your sound. What was it about this that made you realize this is who Mason is as an artist?
I think it comes from two areas, and that would be rap and rock, hip hop and rock. And so all throughout high school, the only thing that I would listen to was hip hop. And then about like right when I started to get out of high school, I started listening to more like emotional music, and a big influence is Juice World as well. And so coming from a person who only listens to hip hop to hearing something like Juice World, it like just hooked me immediately, I guess, because of the emotion. And I mean, growing up, like when I was little, my dad listened to a lot of rock, so I'd always be listening to like Green Day or Metallica or stuff like that. But I never was like an avid listener. And yeah, so just like year and a half ago, just started listening to way more emotional music, mostly in the rock scene, and that kind of has blended with the hip hop, and that's where I think my sound comes from.
That's amazing. I love how many genres are kind of marinating in order to kind of create who you are.
Yeah.
Now that you're with RCA Records, you're currently working on new music. Like, what are the plans for another body of work? Are you working on singles? Are you working for a debut album, EP? Like, what are you currently working on?
So I just have a ton of songs, and I'm always recording, I'm always writing, so they just kind of stack up. But I do have an EP coming soon that will be titled How to Kill a Rock Star. And before that EP, I will have a single called Hate Me, and then another single called Fire, and I'm really excited for those.
You already have your timeline pretty much scheduled. Um,
Exactly, yeah.
did this quarantine kind of affect your music process in any way, or I mean, it's just another day in life for you since you're so used to doing everything from your bedroom?
So being in Utah is super peaceful, and so not much has changed for me. And I got really lucky in the fact that kind of right before everything started to get crazy, I had already recorded all the songs. I had already flown back and forth LA to New York, LA to New York, doing these label meetings and doing a bunch of studio sessions. And so I knocked out tons of songs because, you know, before all of my music started kind of popping off, I was only like recording like 1 hour sessions at a time. And then once I got access to like more studio time, I'd spend 10 hours, go from like 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. sometimes and just record like 13 songs. And so I was really lucky to get all of that. And so, yeah, we've got a bunch of content stacked up and not much has changed.
That's awesome. You used your time wisely for that one.
Mm.
So, Psycho was a big hit, and then you released a remix version featuring Trippie Red. How did that
Mm.
kind of happen for you, and what was it about Trippie Red that you felt he was the right person to kind of feature on this track?
Trippie Red was always a huge influence to me, like in the hip hop scene. And he's kind of the same with Juice World in that he has a lot of emotion in his music. And so him just being a big influence and somebody that I look up to and somebody who I feel like is a big influence on my music, I felt like he would just be great.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate like you doing this, and congratulations with the signing.
Of
Congratulations with
course.
the success of Psycho, and I'm definitely see more stuff happening for you in the future. So looking forward to more music.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the time.